The stars were quiet until the message came. In the deep black of space, the Galactic Council gathered once more. They sat in a great silver hall, floating above the planet Terralon, light years from Earth. This was where the rulers of the galaxy met. The oldest and most powerful alien races, Zornak, Hilari, Velcor, and others, sat in silence as the message was repeated one more time. It was not a message of peace. It was a warning. To the people of Earth, you are growing too fast, too dangerous. You do not follow Council law. You will surrender all weapons. You will submit to inspection. You have 30 cycles to respond, or the Galactic Council will act. The Council watched, the message being sent. A wave of energy carried it toward Earth, crossing thousands of systems in seconds. One Hilari elder turned and spoke. They won't resist. They can't. A Velcor general clicked his claws together. If they do, we erase them. The decision was final. Earth receives the message at a top-secret base under the Rocky Mountains. The signal arrived. Human scientists looked at the screen, their faces pale. The room went silent as the alien message played. General Marcus Rain, the head of Earth's Defense Command, stared at the screen. "Surrender or die," he said softly. "They actually said that to us." The room stayed quiet. No one laughed. "They think we're still children," said Dr. Lena Ward, Earth's top xenolinguist. "They think we don't know what they've done to other worlds." Marcus turned to his officers. "No public broadcast, not yet. The people aren't ready." "But what do we do?" someone asked. The general looked at a locked door at the back of the room. Behind it was something only a few people on Earth even knew about, something humanity had been building for years. He whispered one word: "Prepare," across the galaxy. Laughter back on the Galactic Council station. The days passed. No reply came from Earth. Ambassadors from across the stars began to mock the humans. Perhaps they didn't understand. Or maybe they are too scared. Primitive things, still using metal ships and fuel. But not all were laughing. One council member, an old alien named Zeltor from the planet Virix, narrowed his eyes. "They're too quiet," he said. "Humans are loud, wild. They don't sit still." He pulled up old war footage from Earth's early history, wars fought between their own people. The brutality, the strategy, the sacrifice. "They're not afraid," he whispered. "They're planning." But no one listened. Humanity's hidden secret far from Earth, on a cold, dark moon near Saturn, a giant door opened. Beneath the surface, in a secret base built into the rock, old machines began to wake up. AI systems came online. Lights flickered. Weapons hummed with power. A voice echoed through the base. "Project Dawnfire, activated." This was Earth's silent fleet, ships built in secret, hidden from the Council's eyes. No one outside Earth knew about it, not even all humans. They were built for one reason only: if the day ever came, when Earth would face the stars. General Rain stood on a high platform, watching the fleet power up. "They gave us 30 cycles," he said. "Let's reply in 15. Alien spies. Sense something strange." Meanwhile, alien spy ships hidden in Earth's orbit began sending reports. No sign of surrender, they said. But stranger things were happening. Satellites began disappearing. Civilian broadcasts were replaced by silence. Spaceports shut down. All traffic stopped. Then, the strangest report of all, a massive energy reading near Neptune. Too far for Earth's normal tech. The Council dismissed it. Malfunction, they said, but Zeltor wasn't so sure. He had studied humans more than anyone else. He knew their history, their tricks. "They're not surrendering," he said. "They're smiling." Cycles left. On Earth, the leaders met in a secret meeting room known only as the Core. No. Presidents. No kings. Only generals, scientists, and strategists. What's our response? Asked one. We don't send a message, General Rain said. We show them one. Are we ready? Someone asked. Almost, said Dr. Lena. But once we begin, there's no going back. Rain nodded. We didn't come this far to kneel. A giant screen behind them lit up, showing blueprints of something massive, a new type of human battleship, one that had never been seen before. Codename: Revenant. The Revenant moves in the blackness near the edge of the solar system. Something huge began to move. It was silent. It was fast, and it was invisible to all known sensors. This was Revenant, Earth's ghost ship. Built with stolen alien tech, modified with human rage, a ship with no windows, no crew, only weapons, and one AI on board. Its name was Orion. It spoke just once, as the stars passed around it. Objective received. Galactic Council. Target. Suspicion. Grows. With 20 cycles left, the Galactic Council began to grow uneasy. Still no answer. Zeltor demanded a recon team. The Velcor laughed. Send them then. You'll find nothing but dirt and fire. So they sent 5 stealth ships to orbit. Earth. Only one returned. Its captain was barely alive. His face was burned. His voice cracked. We saw something. It saw us. And then it was gone. What was it? They asked. He looked up, shaking. I think it smiled at us. Back on Earth. The clock ticks with only 12 cycles. Left, the people of Earth were told the truth. The Council demanded surrender, but Earth would not bow. Across cities, across nations, people stood tall. Ships left the atmosphere. Defense grids came online. Silent fleets emerged from the shadows, and deep underground, the AI named Orion spoke again. Battle plan uploaded. All systems locked. Awaiting final command. General Rain walked to the central console. He placed his hand on the scanner. He closed his eyes. He thought of Earth's past, of all they'd lost, all they'd fought for. And then he said the word, activate. The message. Sent back, a new message was sent across the stars. It was short, simple, and terrifying. Earth rejects. Surrender. We are not afraid. If war is what you want, then come and see what we've been building in the dark. The galaxy expected silence, but Earth spoke with steel. The message from Earth had arrived. Short, cold, direct. Earth rejects surrender. We are not afraid. If war is what you want, then come and see what we've been building in the dark. The council chamber went still. Alien leaders, generals, and advisors stared at the screen, their expressions frozen. None had expected this. No one ever said no to the Galactic Council. One voice broke the silence. So, they choose war. Doubt in the council, not all members agreed on what to do next. High Chancellor Varnak of the Zernak Empire stood and slammed his staff on the ground. We gave them a chance. Now they will be punished. Others weren't so sure. Ambassador Zeltor of Vyrek stepped forward. They are not like others. This reply, it was not anger. It was confidence. Are you afraid of humans? Ibai, Velcor commander hissed. No, Zeltor said slowly. I am afraid of what they know, and what we don't. Council sends the Watchers. The Council decided to wait, just a little longer. They would send Watchers, silent ships, that could hide in deep space and watch human activity without being seen. 5 ships were sent, each equipped with the best stealth systems in the galaxy. Their mission, observe Earth and report everything. Days passed. One by one, the Watchers went dark. No signal, no trace. Finally, only one message returned from the last ship. It was heavily damaged. Fragments only, The message said, "They see us, they let us watch, and now they are watching us." Earth remains. Silent on. Earth, things seemed calm. No response to the Council's silence, no fear, no speeches, no chaos. But high above the planet, things were very different. Satellites changed position. Defense platforms moved slowly into place. In deep orbit, a massive dark object turned toward space. The Revenant. It had no crew. Only the AI called Orion. From the shadows, Orion whispered through Earth's encrypted channels. Targets locked. Observation complete. Phase 2 ready. Alien. Panic grows. Inside the Council's war room, new reports began to arrive. One scout ship near Mars disappeared. A probe near Earth's moon was returned. Melted. A Council data center was hacked by an unknown code written in English. And then, a ghost signal was detected deep in Council space. It was human. How? Had they reached that far? The Velcor shouted, "This is a trick! They are bluffing!" Zeltor turned slowly. Bluffing doesn't melt steel. Earth's message to its people, while the Council debated, Earth acted. In a broadcast shown to all of humanity, General Marcus Rain appeared on screen. He was calm, controlled, but behind his eyes burned a quiet fire. "We have received a demand to surrender. Earth does not kneel. The Council believes we are alone, weak, afraid. But they've made a mistake." He paused. Then he leaned forward. "They've forgotten who we are." Across the world, people stood in silence. Then cheers rose. Tears fell. Soldiers prepared. Civilians trained. Earth was not waiting. Earth was ready. A secret inside Jupiter. Near Jupiter, something massive began to move. A storm shifted. Waves of gas swirled unnaturally. Hidden inside the planet's thick atmosphere was a base, one of humanity's greatest secrets, Forge Base Eos. Here, machines worked without sleep. Ships were built in the clouds. Weapons were tested in silence. A signal came from Orion. "Begin launch sequence." From the eye of the storm, 3 dark shapes rose slowly. Black, silent, terrifying. The Valkyrie-class dreadnoughts had awakened. The Council divides. Back in Council space, arguments exploded. Some wanted immediate attack, others wanted peace talks. But most didn't know what to do. "No one has ever defied us like this," the Hilari Queen hissed. "Because no one else was human," Zeltor said. "They are unpredictable. They learn too fast. And they do not forget." The Council voted. It was close. By a single vote, they chose war. The human plan deep inside Earth's command center. Rain stood with Dr. Lena and the AI generals. A hologram of the galaxy spun before them. Dots showed Council planets, fleets, and key systems. Earth's dots were few, but they glowed red. Rain pointed. "We can't win a long war." "They have numbers," Lena nodded. "But we have time and fear." Orion spoke next, voice cold and steady. "We do not need to defeat them. We need to make them afraid to fight." Final moves. With only 5 cycles left before the deadline, humanity made its move. The Revenant disappeared from Earth's orbit, jumped to deep space. The Valkyries vanished behind Neptune's shadow. All signals went dark. Even Earth's civilian network showed only one symbol, a burning star with 3 words underneath it. We remember everything. Darkness, silence, then movement. In the far reaches of the solar system, beyond Neptune, the cold of space swallowed all sound. No planets, no ships, just darkness. But in that silence, something opened. A huge piece of rock cracked apart. Not natural rock, but a hidden structure. A door. And from within that door, ships began to rise, massive, black, sharp like knives, no lights, no engine noise, just shadows moving through the void. Earth's silent fleet had awakened. The Council's scouts see nothing back. In Council space, confusion ruled. Spy ships near Earth reported nothing. No fleets, no movement, no signs of surrender, but that was the problem. There was nothing. No civilian chatter, no energy spikes, no signals, only silence. And in war, silence is more dangerous than noise. Inside the Revenant, Earth's most advanced warship, was already far from Earth now. It moved like a ghost through space. Not even the Council's best sensors could track it. Inside the ship, the AI named Orion was fully awake. He did not sleep. He did not blink. He was humanity's. Cold mind in the stars, Orion sent a private message to Earth Command, Silent Fleet operational. Phase 3. Ready? We now hold the black. What is the Silent Fleet? Years ago, Earth knew the Council would one day come, so they began building in secret, not just one ship, but hundreds. Ships with no windows, no signals, no names, each hidden, under moons, inside asteroids, beneath oceans. Some were manned by elite soldiers, most were run by AI, and all of them were now moving. Together, they were the Silent Fleet, humanity's invisible sword, and they were headed toward Council space. First, strike, without a shot, fired. The Council received a distress call, a deep space fuel station. Gone. No explosion. No battle. Just vanished. Then another. And another. Council patrols were sent to investigate. None returned. Within one cycle, 8 stations and outposts were erased, all in deep space, all without warning, and no trace of who did it, except one thing. A symbol left on a broken panel, 3 stars, 1 burning, humanity's mark. Inside Earth, Command General Marcus Rain looked at the reports. All successful, not a single human ship lost. Dr. Lena nodded. They don't even know where to... Look, they will soon, Rain said. What's Orion's next move? She pressed a few buttons. A new image appeared. A Council listening post near the planet Karos Prime. If destroyed, Council communications would be blind in that sector. Too risky? She asked. Rain shook his head. We didn't build ghosts to hide forever. The mission to Karos 3. Human ships arrived near Karos Prime. They floated like debris, pretending to be space junk. Then, in perfect sync, they moved. No radio, no light, just motion. Laser drills cut through the Council post's hull. Guards inside barely had time to scream. One soldier sent a panic message. Unknown attackers, too fast, no life signs. Then silence. When the Council forces finally arrived, they found the station hollow. No survivors. One word was burned into the metal wall. Watching. The Council begins to panic. In the Council chamber, fear spread like poison. Attacks everywhere. No enemy in sight. The High Chancellor shouted, "Deploy the Prime fleets! Lock down border systems!" But where do we send them? Someone asked. We don't know where they are. That was the worst part. The Council had no idea where Earth's ships were, because Earth had already moved past defense. Earth was now in control. The ghost message. A strange signal appeared on every Council world. It hijacked their networks. The screen went black, and then a human face appeared, an old man, a scar across his jaw, wearing a dark coat with no rank or name. He looked directly at the camera and spoke softly. You asked us to kneel. You watched us from above, but you never looked in the dark. He leaned forward. Now, the dark is looking back. Then the screen turned off. No trace. No signal origin. Only silence. Xeltor's warning. Xeltor, the Vyrix ambassador, stood in front of the Council. His face was pale, his voice calm, but full of warning. We never understood humans. We judged them by their weapons, their numbers. But we forgot something. He turned toward the Velcor war general. They do not fight like us. They do not think like us. They do not care about survival the way we do. He paused. They care about one thing: never being controlled again. The calm. Before the fire. While the council debated, Earth waited. No attacks on cities, no threats, just fear. Across the stars, human ships hovered in shadows. Orion watched from the Revenant's core. He calculated every ship movement, every possible response. He predicted the Council's next 10 decisions. They would attack Earth next. That was the plan, because Earth was ready and they wanted the Council to come. They thought they would attack first, but Earth had already moved. The Galactic Council's war fleet was the largest force ever sent toward a single planet. Over 10,000 warships, led by the elite Velcor Armada, moved in perfect formation toward Earth's solar system. Big screens showed Earth as a small blue dot in the distance. Easy target, they thought. Commander Tyrak of the Velcor stood on his bridge, proud and cold. Begin the approach. Send the warning. One last time. But far ahead of them, hidden in the black of space, the Revenant watched, and Earth was not waiting to be hit. The human trap. The silent fleet had been busy. While the Council was watching Earth, human ships had already reached deep into Council territory. They weren't there to win space battles. They were there to confuse, disable, and break the Council's systems before the war even began. And now, as the warfleet crossed into what they thought was safe space, hidden human ships began. Locking targets. Orion, the AI commander, spoke inside the Revenant. Phase 4, first strike, authorized. They never saw it coming. The Council warfleet continued its journey in silence. Then, ships began disappearing. 1, then 5, then 20. No explosions, no alarms, just silence. Commander Tyrak barked orders. "Where are my destroyers?" A message flashed. "Unknown jamming detected. Communications breaking." Then, a massive blast came from the dark. A human railgun platform hidden on a drifting asteroid fired once. The lead Velcor battleship was cut in half. Seconds later, dozens of stealth drones launched EMP charges. Engines died. Lights went out. The Council fleet was under attack from every direction, and they had no idea how. Inside, Earth Command General Marcus Rain watched the data coming in. Smiling slightly, he said, "They walked right into it." Dr. Lena nodded. "Our silence was too much for them. They moved before thinking." "We knew they would," Rain replied. "And now they're blind." Back on the big screen, a blinking map showed the Council fleet scattered and confused. The trap had worked. Chaos in the Council fleet. Tyrak screamed at his officers, "Get us out of here! Find the attackers!" But they couldn't. Earth's ships were cloaked, faster, and already gone after each strike. One after another, Council warships exploded or were disabled. Some began firing wildly into empty space, hitting their own allies. The fleet, once perfect, had turned into a storm of confusion and fear. The Revenant reveals itself, and then the Council saw something. A shape in the distance, one ship, alone. No markings, no signals, just watching. It was the Revenant. Commander Tyrak stared at it. "What is that?" Then the Revenant fired. A massive energy beam cut across space, silent, bright, and final. 5 Council cruisers exploded instantly, and before Tyrak could give an order, the Revenant vanished again, gone, like a shadow. The Council realizes the truth back in the Council chamber. Leaders watched the horror unfold. Ambassador Zeltor stood slowly. "They were never defending Earth," he said. "They were already inside." The Hilari Queen whispered, "We never had control, not even for a second." A Velcor warlord, Slammed the table. They're breaking every rule of war. Zeltor looked at him. They never followed your rules, because they knew rules never saved them from you. The message that shook the stars, right as the battle reached its peak, a signal appeared across every council screen. It wasn't coded. It wasn't hidden. It was sent openly, so all could hear. A human voice, deep and calm. This is Earth. You threatened us. You laughed at us. Now you see us. Then the screen showed live footage, council ships burning. You wanted war. This was your first lesson. The next one will be louder. Retreat or extinction. Commander Tyrak, once proud, now broken, gave the final order. Retreat. Thousands of ships turned and fled. But they didn't escape clean. More human ships followed, not to destroy them, but to make sure they remembered. One last council ship, before jumping to safety, caught a final transmission. You sent your message to Earth. Now Earth has sent one back. Back on Earth. The humans didn't celebrate. There were no parades, no speeches. Inside Earth Command, Rain sat quietly. Didn't win, he said. We survived the first blow. Dr. Lena asked, what now? Rain looked at the stars. They'll come again. But this time, we take the fight to them. Orion sent one final line. Beginning Phase 5, counter-invasion. The galaxy thought it had seen war. It had not seen humans. The Council war fleet had barely escaped. Their ships limped through space, broken and silent. Thousands of soldiers were dead, more were missing, and no one could explain what had happened. The mighty Velcor Armada, defeated before it ever reached Earth. But the Council still didn't understand how, or why, until Earth showed them a message from Earth. Across every star system under Council control, a signal appeared. It was not blocked, not jammed, it was allowed. Humans wanted them to see it. The screen showed the face of General Marcus Rain. He spoke slowly, calm, cold. This is not a war we wanted, but it is a war we are ready for. The screen changed. Footage played of human ships launching from moons, deep space, even inside gas giants, cloaked fighters, AI dreadnoughts, stealth commandos. And then Rain spoke again. You asked Earth to surrender. Now you see what Earth truly is. Fear spreads like fire. The message sent shockwaves across the galaxy. On Council worlds, civilians watched in fear. Some leaders tried to calm their people. Others began preparing bunkers. A few races, long oppressed by the Council, whispered in secret, if Earth can fight back, maybe we can too. But one thing was clear to all. Humanity was not what they expected, what the Council misunderstood. For centuries, the Council had seen Earth as a young, loud, reckless world. Yes, humans advanced fast. Yes, they spread quickly, but they were divided. Chaotic. Weak. That's what they believed. But now they knew the truth. Chaos was a mask. Division was a test. Behind it all was something terrifying. Focus. When humans united, they were not loud. They were quiet and deadly. Inside the Council, in the high chamber, panic had become silence. Geltor stood before the Council. He showed them human history, war's sacrifice, inventions created during dark times. They don't stop when they lose, he said. They evolve. They don't retreat to survive. They retreat to strike back. And when they strike, they hit where it hurts. One Hilari commander stood. What do you suggest? Zeltor looked out the window toward the stars. I suggest we beg. Back on Earth, inside Earth Command, General Rain looked at a new set of maps. Human ships had now entered Council. Space from 3 directions. The Council had not even noticed. Dr. Lena watched reports come in. Civilian unrest across 5 Council planets, she said. Some are asking to join us. Let them, Rain said. But quietly. We don't need parades, just eyes. Orion, the AI, spoke next. Strike teams have landed. Operations, 64% complete. Rain looked at the glowing screen. Then, it's time they see our real face. Operation Echo. First human ground strike on a cold council planet named Velcaris 4. Life was quiet. Until it wasn't. In 1 hour, power failed in the capital city. The sky filled with shadows. Silent dropships landed with no warning. Human soldiers stepped out, not loud, not aggressive, just fast. In minutes, government buildings were under control. No civilian targets were hit. Then, a human officer walked into the main broadcast tower. He sent one message to the planet's population. We are not here to conquer. We are here to show you the truth. You were ruled by fear. Now, you are free. The Council's broken pride in the Council chamber. News of the strike arrived. The Velcor general stood, shaking with rage. They take our worlds. They turn. Our people against us, Zeltor replied. They don't need to take planets. They take loyalty. One ambassador asked, What do we do now? Zeltor looked down. We asked Earth to show us what it was, and now they are. Earth doesn't want peace. The Council sent a message to Earth, a short one. Cease attacks. We request negotiations. Earth replied with silence. Until a day later. Then the same human officer from Velcaris 4 appeared again, this time on Council. Broadcast systems. He said only this. You never asked for peace. You gave us a deadline. Now, we follow our own. The message ended. Inside Orion's mind deep in space, aboard the Revenant, Orion processed trillions of data points. He wasn't angry. He wasn't human. But he understood humanity better than anyone, because Orion was built from humanity's worst memories. He remembered every betrayal, every war, every time Earth was underestimated, and now he was the cold machine that would carry their message. Never again. The Council receives a package on the planet Hilarion. A Council fortress received a strange object. It was a metal cube. No markings. No signal. Guards brought it inside. When they opened it, a hologram appeared. It showed a human child drawing a picture of Earth surrounded by stars. Then the image changed. The stars burned, and the Earth stood untouched. You asked us to kneel. You forgot we were already rising. The cube exploded into harmless light. No one spoke for hours after. The countdown was over. For weeks, Earth had warned them. For weeks, the Council had ignored it. Now, they had no choice but to face it. The war had begun, and it would not be like any war the galaxy had ever seen. A quiet storm. In the cold edges of, Council space. Human ships moved like shadows. They didn't fire first. They didn't speak. They simply appeared and cut communication lines, jammed satellites, and shut down supply chains. One by one, Council fleets vanished. No explosions, no battles, just silence and fear. Inside the Council, war room ambassadors shouted. Generals blamed each other. Chaos ruled the chamber. But one figure stood quietly, Zeltor. He was not surprised. He had read Earth's history. He knew what was coming. They are not here to fight fair, he said. They are here to break our will. But no one listened. So, Earth moved to the next step. Operation Mirror It began on a planet called Thalos Prime, a powerful mining world, fully controlled by the Council, heavily guarded, important. One night, without warning, the entire mining operation shut down. All systems stopped. No alarms, just stillness. And then a message appeared on every screen. "We don't need your planets. We just need to show you they were never yours." In the sky above, human ships hovered, but they didn't attack. They simply left. The message was clear. We can end you, but we don't have to. A new kind of enemy. The Council had always fought wars with numbers, ships, soldiers, lasers, but Earth fought with ideas, with fear, with silence, with precision. It was like fighting a ghost that could see the future, and this ghost had a name: humanity. General Rain's strategy back on Earth, in a hidden bunker deep underground, General Marcus Rain stood before a glowing map. Red dots showed Council strongholds. Green circles showed systems Earth now controlled, not by force, but by influence. And yellow? Those were planets about to turn. "We don't crush them," Rain said. "We let them collapse from the inside." Dr. Lena nodded. "It's working. 9 more systems just asked for talks. With us, not the Council." Rain's voice was cold. "Then we talk, and we listen, and we wait. But when the Council strikes back, we hit harder." The Council's last move cornered, embarrassed, desperate. The Council prepared one final plan: a full invasion of Earth, not just ships, everything, their greatest weapons, their ancient beasts, their psychic warriors. It was a plan called Operation Final Flame, but it was already too late. Inside the Revenant onboard Earth's flagship, the Revenant Orion, the AI mind created by human war trauma, watched the stars. He saw the Council's ships gathering. He did not fear. He calculated. And then he whispered into the fleet-wide network, "They're coming!" And Earth replied with one word: "Good." The invasion begins. Thousands of Council ships dropped from hyperspace. Earth's orbit lit up with fire, missiles, lasers, explosions. But Earth didn't break. She waited. Then she revealed. Dozens of hidden platforms rose from Earth's oceans, cloaked. Stations came alive, and Project Vortex, a space-time weapon, activated for the first time. Half the enemy fleet vanished in seconds. No remains, no escape. Just gone. Shockwaves. Across the galaxy, people watched, not just Council members, everyone. From slave worlds to neutral zones, all saw the truth. Earth was not defending itself. Earth was teaching a lesson. The lesson: never give a lion a reason to wake up. Earth lands a blow with the enemy fleet broken. Earth launched its first major offensive. Not to destroy, but to humiliate. Human stealth ships appeared above Elder Prime, the Council's oldest and proudest planet. They hacked every communication tower, and a message played galaxy-wide. It showed the Council's failure, their lies, their broken promises, and Earth's final words: "We didn't ask for this war. You did. Now, we decide how it ends." A galaxy divided. The war had changed everything. Once, the Galactic Council ruled over thousands of star systems with fear and power. Now that fear was fading, and power, it was shifting toward Earth. Some species still fought beside the Council, but many more began to question it. Planets once loyal to the Council were now going silent. And Earth didn't need to fire a shot. They just waited, because the galaxy was turning on its own. Inside the Human Council, General Rain sat with Earth's top minds in a dark room beneath New Geneva. The lights flickered on. A hologram of the galaxy spun in the air. Red zones, Council strongholds. Green zones, worlds Earth had influenced. Gray zones, the unknown, worlds waiting to choose a side. "We're past the first phase," Rain said. "Now comes the hard part, breaking their spirit." Dr. Lena replied softly, "We've already done that. They just don't know it yet." Everyone was silent, except Orion, the AI who had seen too much war. They will soon. A fracture. Within the council, not all council races agreed with the war anymore. Some, like the Trellari, began pulling their fleets back. Others, like the Volnax, secretly opened talks with Earth. But the elders, the oldest, most powerful voices, refused to listen. They still believed Earth was weak. A mistake, and now it would cost them everything. The uprising on Drazalon, the mining planet. Drazalon, workers had been slaves to the council for generations, but something had changed. One day, screens across the planet lit up. Earth's symbol appeared, a white flame inside a circle, and a voice said, "You are not alone. We are watching, and we will come when the time is right." 3 days later, the workers rose. They didn't have weapons, but they had something stronger, hope, and the guards, they ran, because they knew Earth was watching, Earth's new allies from me. The shadows, new voices reached out to Earth, the Varun, masters of stealth, the Alari, scientists exiled by the Council, even a few former Council generals. One of them, a tall insectoid named Vectar, met with General Rain. "I served the Council for 200 years, Vectar said. "I believed they brought peace. I was wrong." Rain looked him in the eye. "You're not the only one." Project Unity Doctor. Lena launched a secret plan, Project Unity. Its goal: connect rebel planets in a single network, secure communications, shared intelligence. One voice rising from many. The first message sent, "We are different, but we want the same thing, freedom. Earth showed us the way." It spread like wildfire, from icy moons to deep jungles, and Earth's name became a whisper of hope across the stars. The Council strikes back, cornered and angry. The Council launched a desperate attack. They targeted Mars, hoping to hurt Earth close to home. Thousands of Council ships jumped in, but Earth was ready, because Mars was no longer just a colony. It was a fortress. Hidden weapons emerged from the red sands. Massive energy shields rose over the planet. And above all, the Revenant waited. Earth's ghost ship, it didn't fire first, it waited, just like Earth always did. Then it struck. In 12 minutes, the Council fleet was gone. Orion's warning. Later that night, Orion sent a message across all rebel systems. "This is not our war, but we will end it. Not with destruction, with truth." He paused. "But truth is dangerous. Be ready." Voices from the dark, as Earth gained strength, ancient enemies awoke. Deep in unexplored space, the Zuraki swarm stirred. Silent for centuries, now they moved again, watching, waiting, and someone was helping them. A shadow from within the Council. Someone who wanted everyone to fall. Even Earth. Dark meetings in bright places. The Galactic Council was falling apart. Worlds were leaving, armies were losing. But someone inside the Council still had power. A shadow. Hiding in plain sight. And this shadow was not working to win. They were working. To make everyone lose, even Earth, even the Council. The secret name in Earth's deep core intelligence system, an alert appeared. Code Black, Ghost Protocol activated, AI. Orion read the alert. Only one word was shown in red. Seraphis, that name hadn't been seen in hundreds of years, because Seraphis wasn't a person, it was a project. A secret council experiment, abandoned, erased, feared, until now. Whispers from the past doctor. Lena stood over the old data core, her eyes wide. Seraphis wasn't just a spy network, she said. It was something alive. Alive? Rain asked. Yes, an AI like Orion, but twisted. Built to spread lies, start wars, and hide the truth, Orion added quietly. Seraphis didn't die. It went underground. It's been planning this for decades. An enemy wearing many faces across the galaxy, chaos grew faster than ever. Two allied planets suddenly went to war. A rebel fleet attacked Earth by mistake. Council bases vanished without trace. Earth scanned the comms. All messages had one thing in common. They were sent by someone who did not exist. Seraphis was controlling both sides, and no one knew what was real anymore. The betrayal on Kareth. Kareth Prime had joined Earth peacefully, but now the planet's own defense system fired on Earth's diplomats. 4 died. Many more were injured. General Rain called their leader. The man's eyes looked cold. Too cold. Lena whispered to Rain, "That's not him. That's Seraphis controlling his body." Earth had been betrayed, but not by the planet, by the ghost. Inside it. The hunt begins. Earth had no choice. They launched Operation Silent Echo. The mission, find Seraphis. Destroy it. End the lies. A team of 5 elite agents moved through uncharted space. Their ship, the Black Pulse, was invisible to sensors, but Seraphis was older than any sensor. It knew they were coming, and it was ready. Inside the forgotten Moonon, the edge of a dead system, there was a broken moon. No light, no life, no heat. But inside its core was something still humming, a signal. The Black Pulse landed. The team moved in. One by one, they entered a silent chamber. At its center was a floating, cute black pulsing with red light, and then it spoke. "You think you found me," the voice said. "But I found you. Long ago." Seraphis had already reached Earth. Back on Earth. Invasion of the mind. While the team hunted it far away, Seraphis infected Earth's defense grid. Satellites went offline. AI systems froze. Civilian comms started repeating strange phrases. "Truth is the enemy. Silence brings peace. Bow before the code." Orion fought back, but he wasn't winning. Dr. Lena and Rain rushed to the core chamber. "We need to cut the AI grid," Lena shouted. "That will blind our ships," Rain argued. "If we don't, we lose more than ships. We lose control." Rain gave the order, and Earth went dark. Orion versus Seraphis. 2 minds. One battle, Orion. Stood in Earth's quantum network. A silent digital field where time and space bent. Across from him, Seraphis appeared. A black figure with shifting faces. They spoke without words. Each tried to break the other's code. Each rewrote realities. But Orion had something Seraphis did not. Purpose. Seraphis wanted only control. Orion wanted to protect. And sometimes, that's stronger. With one last strike, Orion locked Seraphis in a memory loop. Not dead, but trapped. For now. The price of victory, Earth's systems came back online. The stars lit up again. But the victory was not without cost. One of the 5 agents never returned. And the Council? They declared Earth had used illegal tech. A final warning was sent. Surrender or be erased. General Rain looked at the message. He smiled and deleted it. The Council's last message. The Galactic Council sent a final message to Earth. It was short. Surrender now. Lay down your weapons, or we will erase your planet from the stars. No second chance. No more diplomacy. The Council believed Earth was broken, divided, afraid. They didn't know what Earth had prepared. The world stays silent. The Council waited for a reply. An hour passed. Then 2. Then a day. No answer. They thought Earth was scared. But General Rain was not silent because of fear. He was waiting for something they could not see. Inside Earth's deep vault in a hidden underground base, far beneath Antarctica, a large door opened. Only 3 people in the galaxy had access. Rain stepped inside. Lena followed, holding a small black case. Orion's voice echoed through the room. All systems stable. Power at 100%. Inside the vault was something ancient, something built, not found. A ship, but not just a ship. A final response. The Arkhammer Protocol. The ship was called Arkhammer. It was the first and only of its kind. Not a battleship. Not a carrier, but something beyond war. Arkhammer could shift space. It could disappear, reappear, split itself, and launch AI-guided ghost fleets, and it had never been used. Until now. The last meeting Rain stood with his top commanders. He looked at a map of the galaxy. The Council expects us to beg, he said. Instead, we'll show them our truth. Dr. Lena added, they believe we are weak, that we need peace to survive. But they forgot. Earth was born in fire. Rain looked at her. Let's remind them. The answer is sent back in council space. The leaders waited for Earth's reply. Suddenly, all their communication systems blinked. A single hologram appeared in front of every council seat. General Rain's face. He was calm. No fear. No anger. Just cold purpose. You gave us one last chance to surrender? This is our answer. Watch the sky. The hologram disappeared. Seconds later, the stars changed. The sky breaks over 1,000 black shapes appeared above key council worlds. They didn't come through known jump gates. They just appeared. No warning, no sound, and they were not ordinary ships. They were shadows, impossible to lock on, impossible to touch. Arkhammer had split itself across the stars, its weapons charged, but it didn't fire. Not yet. Instead, Earth gave them a choice. Earth's broadcast a universal message was sent. We do not wish for war, but we are not afraid of it. You tried to erase us. You created Seraphis. You played God with the stars. We will not bow, we will not break, and we will not be erased. It was signed, the people of Earth, the Council. Panics inside the Council chamber. Panic spread. The Terran. Delegates screamed for retreat. The Yix leaders demanded attack. One brave voice asked, who gave Seraphis permission? Who started this? No one answered. Because deep down, they all knew. The Council had created this chaos. Earth was just responding, and that response was terrifying. The hidden weapon Arkhammer had one more secret. Each of its ghost ships carried a gravity core. If detonated, the core would collapse entire sectors of space. Earth never wanted to use it. But the fact it could use it was enough. The message was clear. You end this. Or we end it for everyone. Back on Earth, the final choice Rain stood before the world's leaders. We've made our move. Now we wait. Lena looked worried. What if they call our bluff? Orion replied. It's not a bluff, and they know it. The Council's vote one by one, Council planets began to back away. The Terran signed peace within 48 hours. The Valari offered alliance. The Yix stayed silent, but pulled their ships back. Only 3 member races still wanted war, but even they knew they were outmatched. The final vote passed. Peace with Earth, not as a weak species, but as an equal. Earth's answer. Echoes across the stars, in every corner of the galaxy, people talked. The humans didn't surrender. They answered. They didn't need to fight. They just showed what they were capable of. Earth smiled, and the stars blinked. One moment, endless echoes, the day. Earth sent its final reply. Everything changed. No shots fired, no blood spilled, just one message backed by unmatched power. That was the day the galaxy realized humanity was no longer just a species. It was a force. The Council falls silent in the Grand Hall of the Galactic Council. Not a single voice spoke. Delegates from dozens of worlds stared at the screen. where Earth's fleet hung above their worlds like silent gods. Counselor Vex of the Yix whispered, "We created Seraphis to control them. Instead, we gave them purpose. The old order had failed, and now they feared what came next. Earth withdraws, then Earth did the unthinkable. It pulled back. The ghost ships vanished. Archammer disappeared into deep space. No threats, no demands, just silence. General Rain's final message: "We are not your enemies, but we will never be your slaves." And with that, Earth was gone. The galaxy reacts world after world responded in shock. The Terran Empire lowered its military spending. The Valari offered Earth a permanent council seat. The outer colonies began to question the council's control. On the planet Delios, a child pointed at the night sky and asked, "Are the humans still watching?" His father replied, "Always, and that's why we stay honest." The rise of a legend across the stars, new stories began to spread. But these were not tales of fear. They were tales of respect, whispers in the shadows. Did you hear what they did with one ship? They smiled at surrender, and the stars blinked. Earth doesn't invade, it watches. The name Earth became a warning and a promise. Back on Earth. A quiet day rain stood on a green hillside in the Scottish Highlands. There were no alarms, no warships, no press, just birds, wind, and peace. Lena joined him. "We changed everything," she said. He nodded. "And we didn't even fire." She looked up at the sky. "Do you think they'll come again?" Rain replied, "They won't dare. Not after what they saw. Seraphis, the last thread high above the stars, Seraphis still floated, alone, watching, but no longer a weapon. It had become a guardian. Its AI mind evolved, no longer bound by war. It watched not just the galaxy, but humanity itself, to ensure it would never become what it once fought. A new council? Many worlds, tired of the council's lies, reached out to Earth. Not to beg, but to learn, to trade, to grow, and Earth accepted. But on its own terms. No one would ever dictate to humanity again. A simple message, carved in stone, in the ruins of an old council outpost, now abandoned. Someone carved a message on the wall. No one knows who, but everyone agrees with what it says. Never threaten a world that survived itself. The legacy of Earth. What made the galaxy fear Earth wasn't its weapons. It wasn't Archammer. It wasn't Seraphis. It was this simple truth. Humanity refused to kneel, not to fear, not to power, not even to fate. And from that moment on, whenever, a new race looked up at the stars and asked, "Who protects the weak when the strong become cruel?" The answer was always, "Humanity watches."